Is there anything that you've noticed over the last 3 weeks that has been the issue in terms of getting more positive yards in the run game?
At the end of the day, we just got to line up and play better football. It starts with us as coaches. We got to make sure that we're putting a good game plan together. But then on top of that, our guys just got to go out there and execute and play. You know, these guys, like I've said this each and every week as I've sat here at the podium, we're going to get everybody's best shot. At defense across the field from us, they're going to line up and do what they're expected to do. So at the end of the day, we got to be better. It's an attitude. It's a determined mindset to get it done. And that's the focus this week. So, yes, we have got to be better up front. And on top of that, the back's got to run it.
Fair to say that you and Travis are okay, best season?
Well, I'll say this, and one thing I will say is Trav is a very passionate individual. I think you guys have figured out and gotten to know me over the years is I love what I do. I enjoy it. This is what I do. I eat, breathe, and sleep football. I've been doing this now since the age of 6. Played the game. Been very passionate. What you see is what you get. And one thing I do, I hold all my guys to a higher standard. I expect them to be at their best. Now, for whatever reason, whatever happened, took place, at the end of the day, we keep it moving because we got other bigger fish to fry. You know, we got an opponent that we need to go out and play against this week, and that's the focus. That's the mindset. But I hold all our guys to a higher standard, and I coach hard, but I coach fair. But at the end of the day, the only thing I want us to do is to be at our very best at all times.
Eric, was it the 2 drop passes that was the root of that?
Not at all.
Coach, what do you think?
What was where?
You guys got to understand, things happen on the football field. But when those things happen, okay, it's just like water off a duck's back. Life continues to roll. But like I said, I do this because I love it, I'm very passionate. I enjoy what I do. I love all my players. Trav is one of the top players that I've been fortunate and blessed to coach. But also, too, he's a very passionate individual, and so am I. You know, we all wear our feelings on our sleeves. But when it's all said and done with, the only thing that we're here to do is to accomplish of being the best. And being the best is just focusing on the very next play, and that's all that matters.
But is there a line that shouldn't be crossed, a player putting his hands on a coach?
Of course. This goes without saying. But when it's all said and done with, you know, we keep it moving. Trav's a hell of a kid, you know. He's a great kid. He's a beautiful kid. Those things happen. We continue to roll.
Coach, what are you seeing from Byron Pringle? Of course, seems like Patrick and Byron seem like to be hooking up a little bit more than what they have.
You know what? Pringle's doing a heck of a job. He's been one of our players for 2 years now, and we expect Pringle to be at his best. I know we've had some injuries, but we expect those guys, the next guy, to step up and do a hell of a job. And Pringle stepped up last week and played big. We expect that from all of our guys. It doesn't matter where you're located on that depth chart. We expect our great players to be great, and we expect our backup players to play important roles and step in and assume that role when given that opportunity to do so.
Coach, this will be the 6th time in 7 years you guys have played the Texans, and you've gone up against Romeo Crennel a few times. Just what's the defining characteristic of a Romeo Crennel defense?
Tough, hard-nosed. They get after it. They're going to fight to the finish. They're structurally sound. They don't make mistakes. You got to go out and beat them. We have to go out there and play assignment sound football to give ourselves a chance. And that's what the focus is this week. Let's make sure we're doing the little things that we need to do in order to help us to accomplish the goal this week.
Coach, when you have a J.J. Watt and you have an offensive line that's just kind of been injured, and how do you bolster against a guy who can wreak havoc like Watt can?
You know what? You just go out and play. We don't care about who's hurt or who's not playing. The only thing that we know, who's ever in there has a great opportunity to go and show out what he can do. And then on top of that, he has a great opportunity to help us to win. Those are the things that matter. We know who they are. We know what they can do. We know what they're about. We know the challenge that's up ahead. But when it's all said and done with, hey, we're in this together, and we're expecting the next man to step up and do his job.
With the changes you do have on the offensive line, I mean, how, in this offense in particular, is it possible to only practice 3 or 4 days and be ready on Sunday?
These guys are paid professionals. Yes,
I mean,
yes.
With the additions that you have.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Plus, and I'll say this: Coach Reed has done a hell of a job putting together a great coaching staff. We got great teachers, you know, and that's one thing that we don't take for granted here. We got a lot of guys that are passionate about what they do. We got effective communicators, and we can relate. At the end of the day, it's our job to make sure that these guys are ready. We're not going to put players out there who aren't ready. So we want to make sure that they can go out and play to a higher level. And on top of that, we hold all of our players to a high standard. So we expect them to show nothing but the best. Now, will mistakes be made? Yeah. Don't care about mistakes. Okay? The only thing that we care is that they go out there and give us the best effort possible.
What tells you that the traits that you saw last week in Byron Pringle are legitimate, and then, you know, maybe when everyone's healthy, he can still potentially be a contributor?
Well, you know what? You saw that last year in preseason prior to him getting hurt. Pringle was having a huge, if you think about it, Pringle was having a huge training camp. And he ended up getting hurt. But we knew the potential ability that Pringle had. It's just about giving an opportunity. And so once given an opportunity, he showed what he can do. Now it's about putting consistent behavior on tape.
Coach, I know the other team's paid to do a job as well, right? Sometimes you just have to tip your cap that they did a good job. And you guys didn't move the chains maybe as much as you wanted to, but you didn't get any of the other running backs the ball. McCoy didn't have a carry, and Darrell Williams didn't have a carry. Was that just an inability to get enough downs to get to it, or was that the game plan that you had in mind and it just didn't go the way you wanted?
Nah, I just think it was the flow of the game. You never try not to hand the ball off, being a former running back coach. But it was just the flow of the game. We were still looking for a rhythm, trying to make things happen, got into a passing mode. But when it's all said and done with, we just got to play better. And that's what this game is about. And on top of that, giving ourselves an opportunity to move the chains, create more opportunities for us to have additional plays, but it also puts us in position to score. And that's when all the other players get involved in the offense.
As a running back, you know, for you, the back, but also the offensive line, do you need to run? You need to quote-unquote pound the rock to be effective in the run, or can you throw the ball 12 times in a row and then be really efficient running the ball as well?
Well, the player in me will always say you got to run it 15 to 20 times, you know what I mean, in order to get yourself ready. But the way we do things here, these guys know, you know, we're going to throw the ball, we're going to run it, okay? At the end of the day, we're getting paid to do a job. We expect us to be great anytime we call a play. When it's all said and done with, and I know this is coach's talk, every play that we design is designed to score a touchdown. So when we call a play, and it may be every 15 snaps or whatever, we expect that play to be productive. We expect our players to be efficient. We expect us to go out there and do what is asked of us to do. So, but at the end of the day, I will say this again, as a unit, as a coaching staff, we have got to be better, and we will be better.
Last one, Karen.
Coach, just, I want to ask you like a coaching technique question. Can you use slants more to kind of help when Patrick can't run as much? I mean, can you use those more in the game to help? I'm trying, you know, be a little coach on the sideline myself.
Well, there's a lot we can do, but I will say this too. Pat will tell you, he's not going to want you to take anything off of his plate, because if he can put his helmet and shoulder pads on and line up behind that center, he's going to want to do whatever he can. That's the warrior in him. That's the great kid in him. That's the type of person that he is. He's been raised to be, and he's also a leader. He wants to do whatever he can to help us to win.
But if you don't want him to hold the ball so long and you're trying to get rid of it a little bit, is that a good option?
Well, it's good when all your plays work. Sometimes plays don't work, and you live. You take that with a grain of salt and you say, hey, you know what? Maybe that wasn't a good one, but now we keep it moving on to the next play. When it's all said and done with, every play that we design is designed to be effective. So at the end of the day, all of us, all 11 players on that field has to make sure that they're being accountable, okay, that they're responsible for doing their assignment. But on top of that, as a coaching staff, that we've given them all the proper information to go out there and be as effective as they need to be.